there almost isn't a word to describe when you're out there to represent your country. Freaking amazing. It's hard to put it into real words or feeling, because it's just a feeling you have that it's just so incredible, right?
It's like this is the moment so many people have dreamed of, and I'm in it.
Exactly, exactly.
So how did it go for you? Tell us more about your actual experience.
Okay, like being the first out to go for the team was a little stressful at that part, because it would always be nice to see another team member go first and then
copy them or
and
not.
get a little bit of a feel for how things are going.
Yeah.
But I was the sixth out of
the
all
whole
the competitors.
field.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't as bad as I thought. Like once you get going and you're working and you're concentrating on getting your horse relaxed, because the atmosphere there is just incredible, and it really hit my horse hard. But just to get him to try to relax, once you get concentrated, you kind of forget your surroundings. You're just thinking of you and your horse.
Perfect.
And he did have a few moments going into the dressage ring, even though they've asked people to, please hold their applause and everything else till after. It doesn't matter. People don't listen.
Yeah, there's
but
always
you know what?
something.
That's okay. It's the
Yeah.
Olympics. You can't expect people just to sit there and not make a sound.
Right.
But so that caught him. I could feel his heart pounding through the saddle.
Wow.
And he's staring. He actually stopped dead on me, stared up into the crowd to his left. I think I have a photo of it too, and it's just like crazy. And I could feel his heart pounding, and I was thinking to myself, this could go either way.
Probably he could feel your heart pounding too.
I don't know. I'm sitting on him, just going, this could go either way. He's either going to cooperate, or he's going to lose it right now.
Tick.
And I remember holding the right rein, trying to get his head straight, giving it a tug, and nothing was happening. So I thought, okay, I looked at the clock. I'm like, okay, I got time.
Okay.
I remember just glancing, going, I got time.
Yeah.
And I just waited till he just turned his own head, and then I said, okay, let's go. And I could feel him tense. With my horse, I know him enough not to go around the dressage ring. I just stayed in the far left corner of the ring and did circles down there, waiting for the bell, trying to get him to relax. And I had a good feeling, because he just started to give a little bit, soften a bit, and just sort of like getting his mind more to his work.
Yep.
So I was pleased, and then the bell went, so I said, okay, let's get in there. In general, we could have done a better test. He had a few and they're just moments, but, judges catch that.
Exactly.
That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
Just moments, but in general, I was pleased with the test. I was pleased that when I came out, even my own coach had said, David O'Connor had said, that was more like a 50. He did well. He said, you're first out.
Exactly.
You're marked hard.
Yeah.
So that was good. So to me, he still scored well.
Like not the best test ever, but not a disaster either.
No, it wasn't. It was respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we move on, Michele, I'm curious why you don't take him around the outside of the dressage ring.
Over the years,
yep.
I found he just starts to tense up, and he'll scoot forward, and he'll get into a little naughtiness on me. He has a streak to him.
So with some horses it helps to get them around and let them see all the corners, but with him it does not.
In our regular little 3-day events, our regular horse trials, he's okay with that. But when the atmosphere is very electric, like at Rolex, and like when he did Rolex, I didn't go around the ring. I had to go once, and it was iffy.
Okay, yeah.
And here I thought, I am not going there.
Okay.
Because if I go around the ring, then I have to come up close to where the in-gate is again.
Yeah.
And
you'd already made it there.
Say that's as far as I'm going.
Okay.
I know once I get him in that little white fence, he's a good boy.
What to do. Okay.
So my main objective is to stay somewhere where he's relaxed enough that I can get him close to that in-gate of that white fence and get in that ring.
Nice. Okay, well, thanks for that sidebar.
Oh, no problem.
So the next day, what happens the second day?
Oh, cross country.
Yeah.
Well, we're all pumped and ready to go. He was very good, heading up the hill to cross country on the little track they had made, everything was so great there. The footing was awesome.
Beautiful.
Our coach wanted us up there each about 26 minutes ahead, and for me, it's like, that might be too much for my guy.
Right. What breed is he?
He is a quarter Belgian and 3/4 thoroughbred. So he's a bit of a minority, actually, with having the draft in him.
Right. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. And we got up there, and I could feel it right away. My groom had to lead him through. I could feel it that this was really overwhelming for him. The crowds were like 20 some odd deep, if not more.
Yeah.
The first 3 fences galloped around the warm-up when the horses took off. And it was, so we got him warmed up. He jumped well. Like he once I got him moving and everything else, he jumped well. He jumped some fences, warmed up well. I'm like, good boy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trotting him around, and then our coach had said, okay, give him a break. That's what did it. He just couldn't handle standing still and looking at everything. Again, the heart's pounding, and he had a meltdown.
Uh-oh.
He had a total unbelievable meltdown. Acted up, buck kicked, reared, stomped. He wanted to keep moving.
Right.
So I just, and he kept saying, give him a break. He can't.
Yeah, he doesn't need a break.
He doesn't want to sit still and look at all this stuff. It's driving him nuts, especially when a horse kept shooting off out the start box.
Yeah.
Would send him for a tizzy.
Right.
So we just, for most of the time, he cantered and galloped circles.
Wow.
And he kept going, and he kept going.
Yeah.
So they were pointing me towards the start box because we couldn't even lead him there. He was not taking anything from anybody.
Right. He was just in his own headspace.
Yeah, so we just galloped circles and worked our way up to the start box, got him behind the start box, and I could see our chef to keep Graham, Tom, pointing at his watch and pointing at the start box, like, get over there, get over there.
Right.
Well, when I seen him do that, because it was our coach that was just twirling his finger saying, do another one, you got time, do another one, you got time.
Right.
And then I looked, and Graham's like, watch him pointing, so I just galloped to the start box and galloped out.
Perfect.
I am so jealous of people who can stand their horse in a start box and wait patiently.
Yeah, no, it's not for every
horse. The riders of those horses are like amazing. And off he went, and he went well. The very start went well. He had a few. Being early in the start, I found the footing was good to land on. It was giving. It was soft. It was supple. I found any turns, and especially my guy. He's big. He's 17 hands.
Okay.
He's a good 1,300 pounds.
Yeah. Okay.
And he, when he turns, he leans in and digs in, right?
Okay.
So I found his back end slipping out from under him quite often. And he almost went down between fence 5A and B, but he scrambled up and kept going. That's what made me back off a bit and say, geez, I got to watch my turns.
Right.
And so after that, I was probably a little slow down hills.
Okay.
Because he was revving to go then. But partway through, after I think it was my first water complex, because he had a slip on the turn to the water. But after that, we had some not so sharp turns and some more spots to go and a few uphill. So I had said, okay, let's go, buddy. And he kicked in.
Okay.
And then backed off.
Oh.
And I was like, what's up with you? So I never thought much of it. Got the next fence done and said, okay, come on, let's go. And he went again and backed off. I'm like, you can't be tired. You're the most fit you've ever been. You run Rolex less fit.
Right, but you can feel that he's not responding normally.
And it was so unbelievable. And then there was a stretch after the drop jump, because I'm letting him cruise now. I'm like, okay, we have this good gallop stretch. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And for the third time, when I said go, and he's the type of horse, when you say go,
he goes.
He is gone.
Yeah.
And he backed off again. I was like, okay, I was almost going to go to my stick, and I'm glad I didn't. In hindsight, what I know now.
Right.
I think it was his way of telling me, I'll do this and I'll finish it. I hurt.
Right.
But I can't run hard. It hurts too much.
Yeah.
And so I just let him canter his merry little way all the way around. He jumped everything except for my silly pilot error at fence 16. I was so mad at myself for that one. Having it so set in my head to hold my line of 5, which he jumped in so huge over 15.
Right.
I wasn't able to make the 5.
Yeah.
But and then he finished off. He was still higher than a kite. Like, I remember my groom saying she needed the bridle plus the chain over his nose to get him back to stabling.
Yikes.
And she did what she had to do. She iced him. She cooled him out. Like, they did all that. It was iced and cooled out. He was bandaged up, put in a stall, and then we'd take them out a few hours later just to walk them, make sure everything's good. And we'd take the bandages off, check their legs and stuff. But she had said to me, because I'd watched the rest of my teammates go, and very much disheartening watching it all happen and unfold the way it did.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, after I seen my score, because it was so slow in my run out, I thought, that's okay. They can drop my score. We've got 3 other good riders to go, or 4 others. And Holly goes out hell-bent for leather and crashes on fence 3. And I was like, oh, my God, okay, it's all right. She'll be okay. I know she'll be okay. She's a tough rider.
Yep.
We got 3 more.
Right.
Then Peter goes out and crashes on fence 10. I was like, oh, my God, they've got to keep my score.
Right.
We have Jessie goes out next. We didn't know at time. I know she was getting close to the end, but they're putting a hold-on course. We're like, no, not Jessie, not Jessie.
Yeah.
But it was the rider just in front of her.
Okay.
He was second last fence. And they wouldn't say anything, so we're all panicking.
Right, so that's never a good sign.
No, so we figured, okay, it's the rider in front of her. And so she gets to finish with a handful of time penalties. So that was great. Or one and only soldier standing.
Right.
And then Rebecca goes out and crashes on fence, I think it was 14-15. And I'm like, oh my God, we got no team. We're done. We're finished. And didn't know my horse is finished yet.
Right.
Then once we find out later in the day when I come back, my groomer says, you need to look at him. I took him for his walk, and he's ouchy. I said, what leg? She goes, his right. And I was like, oh my God. So we took him out. We had our team vet looking. He's lame. We schedule the clinic so we can get time. It wasn't until about like 8 or 8:30 that he got in to have his ultrasound done.
Okay.
And when she said, he's got a tear. So
that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I'm feeling it already.
Yeah.
So anyways, after that, we had to then announce that he will be withdrawn from the competition.
Yeah. There's no choice.
No, there's no, he couldn't, he would not have passed the jog. He would not have passed.
Yeah.
And even if he would have, I still wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, there's just
no. You can't expect a horse to perform. He performed the rest of that cross country.
Right.
Hurting.
Yeah,
now.
And
just telling me that, I'll do this, I can't run. I couldn't feel anything. I couldn't tell I just knew he was not right. I just didn't know where.
Right.
After he came off, he was fine coming off. It's just once the adrenaline's out of the horse's body and they relax.
Yeah.
That's then they go, ow, this hurts.
Yeah, the injury can sort of take its turn.
He's back under saddle now, though.
Good.
And starting back, he had his last ultrasound. It looks great. The vet said, just keep bringing him along as you are. And she even said, he'll jump again. He'll never go to the level that he's ever done. And I think I'll just keep him as dressage. His leg's like bionic now. He's torn top, middle, and bottom.
Right.
I could probably bring him back and he'll be fine now. But
the injuries that make you stronger.
Yeah, but I won't do that to him. He's brought me to my first 4-star at Rolex.
Yeah.
And we did well with the 10th. And he got me to the Olympics. Yes, it wasn't the way I wanted to finish it.
No.
But he got me there.
Yeah, exactly. So, Michele, let's take a pause at this point and play.